So I was on my way back home from work, walking back, as I usually would, when a stone's throw away from my apartment, I see a Corona beer truck, and plastered upon the side of that truck is a slogan which dares us to ask, "Where is your beach?" Corona Beer Company. I will respond, I have no beach. Both literally and figuratively, or in any sense of that word, or any sense of that question, whatever it's daring us to ask, I have no beach, because there is no beach for me, or at the very least, my paradise it cannot be found on the white sandy beaches and clear water of Florida, let me tell you. So, there's this thing, that a lot of people like beaches, right? But I think those people are normies. People who like to go out, like to just be around other people in an intimate location like a beach. And that's what Corona Beer is asking you. Where is your beach? It's a philosophical question, begging us and urging us, and having the audacity to ask where our paradise was, where our slice of heaven is, and somewhat implying that the way to get that piece of heaven is through the bottle of a Corona beer. I mean, I can't really speak for that. I don't drink, and I have no desire to find my paradise at the bottom of a bottle of beer. But the question is still stood in my mind, and it got me thinking. It got me thinking a little bit about a couple things, and got me reflecting on 2020 and moving on into 2021, and missing a few things, as well as generally reminding me of how much I hate the sun. So I was walking back, and recently, in these past couple days, it's been getting warmer. Most people would call it nice weather. I would call it terrible weather. By anyone's metrics, they'd call me the insane one. They would look outside, see the sun shining brightly, cloudless sky, blue skies ever present in their field of vision, and the somewhat nice weather, and they would look at me through squinted eyes, turn their head a little bit, and say, "Are you okay?" Because they cannot comprehend why someone would look outside, see the same picture they're seeing, and respond differently to what they are seeing. This is the quintessential normie, the quintessential Ryaju response. This is the same response I would get when, if and when I ever get to the conversation when I have to tell my parents that I will not be getting married, why I don't have any friends, and so on and so forth. The reason being because they look at the things that they have taken for granted, essentially, these friends, these romantic relationships they've forged over the years, things that they've considered to be quintessential to their human experience, and they see someone else completely rejecting them, and they see that person as someone who is somewhat, I guess, divergent from what they would usually think, and they cannot comprehend why that would be the case. They can't comprehend why someone would look at this character and consider, they would look at Misaka Mikoto from the Toaru universe and say that character is popular, or I mean that character is attractive, because to them they might think that character is cute, but they cannot think of it as anything but a fictional two-dimensional character, because they're extremely short-sighted. So I look outside and I see the ever-present blueness of the sky and the cloudless nature of it all, and call it disgusting. I can't stand it. I need to put sunglasses on because my eyes are not well adjusted to it. As such, I have a vitamin D deficiency. The normies would look at me and say, "How can you not be enjoying this day?" The simple answer is why someone does not like the outside. Because I hate the outside. I hate the sun. I hate to be out in it. I hate the smell of it. And above all, I hate the people that come with it. So, like, I was walking, like, as I was walking back, I passed through the quad area of my campus, and what do I see? Lo and behold, there is, the place is overrun by normies out there doing whatever normies do on the campus. Like, I never understood the type of people who think it's a good idea to go study outside. I think those people are they're either in their first year of university or that's the first day they're studying outside. Or maybe this is just simply me being unable to comprehend something that they see. Maybe studying outside increases your efficiency or whatever, but I struggle to comprehend how it could be better than studying either like just simply in the comfort of your own home or in a library. But yeah, so you see these people out there with their MacBook Pros or MacBook Airs, I guess, or whatever Macs are being called these days, squinting at the monitor, being unable to read what's on their monitor because of the sun, and sitting around other people. And I take one look at that and I can't understand it. I don't understand why they do that. In much the same way I ask, or they would ask me why I cannot comprehend the beautifulness of the day outside. I cannot comprehend why they find it so beautiful or why they find this activity that they're partaking in so appealing. Because, I mean, I guess you could chalk it up to being simply an indoorsy person. I guess that's the easiest way to explain that. But this started to get the ball rolling, and I started to think a little bit that I legitimately miss quarantine. Whatever happened to quarantine, it kind of just ended, and I really miss it. A lot of people are gonna a lot of people would think that someone like me is insane for saying something like that. But I know there are a few people out there who get where I'm coming from. The type of people who normally would spend a lot of time in their rooms and being told that there's a government mandate to do so and you're incentivized to be a hikikomori, essentially, then it would be a godsend. Mom, I can't go to the grocery store today. I can't go to school today. The government told me to stay inside. So I'm just watch anime and play video games all day. Naturally. So I miss this government mandated hikikomoriism that was pushed during the early days of the whole coronavirus thing and this whole quarantine mandate. I miss that a lot. Now I look outside and you're starting to see people, whether the situation warrants it or not, they want to go back to how things, quote unquote, how things were. When in all actuality, things will never be the same. But they want to cling to those old days when they could go outside with their friends and sit on campus with their MacBook Airs and squint at their screens that they could scarcely see through the blinding light of the sun, blasting and reflecting against the screen. I cannot comprehend that as I slink back to my apartment and cover my window here with this blanket, which does a somewhat poor job of masking the sunlight, but all things considered, it's better than nothing. So I guess the point is, when I saw that the Corona beer truck daring me to ask where my beach is, I will respond. My beach is inside this room right here, between these four walls, plastered with various anime posters and wall scrolls, Onahole boxes, and dirty clothes strewn about. Got these Christmas lights from a very long time ago, strung haphazardly below the ceiling. Some of them are falling down already, but they illuminate the room with a rainbow color. They cannot be described as anything else but comfy. Within the comfy glow of these Christmas lights from probably the mid 2000s or late 90s, illuminating these Bishoujo posters, I sit in front of this monitor and respond to the Corona Beer Company saying, "This is where my beach is." I miss the quarantine. I miss the days when people could not go outside, or those scarce days when you would go outside during the height of it all. Throw out your garbage, go run groceries, and see nobody driving their cars. There wasn't much traffic. People were working from home. there wasn't any people outside. Because one of the biggest problems with the world out there is that the people inhabit it. And being someone who is a misanthrope, someone who hates people, the fact that people were removed from the occasion almost made the outside world that much more appealing to me. But as society rushes to return to its, I guess, the time before the world ended, whether the situation warrants it or not, I see the people, I see the weather, and I cannot look it in the eye. So I return back to my room, and I will continue to quarantine myself until further notice. That's where my beach is.